in the Shin Mem Ches, right?
Yeah, so we are doing Sameach, right? And it's gonna be one. It says we're gonna do the same exact ones that was in the
Yeah. Right?
yeah. So we're gonna do the same ones that's in the Sikumim, same Seifim. So it's gonna be Aleph to Gimel.
We never did in the Sikumim the Gezela, right? Only Geneva we did.
Yeah, we did.
So we should try to do, if not today, tomorrow morning.
Let's. I mean, it's not unbelievably long. Just those Seifim.
I did the thing. I just got the okay, I have it. I have the sefer here ready.
It's actually very short. So in theory, we could even start if we do whatever. Anyway, let's see.
Yeah, halavai. Okay.
You know how one short smack could go half an hour. So let's see.
If we don't know each other by now, it's everything is possible with you. We can vernehmen haloche und voneinander teilen das auf Horrelach,
Yeah, and it's funny because sometimes it's the short ones, because the long ones is sometimes more explained, and the short one is very can be so much packed. Okay, so the Chazan Rishon,
the basically taught us in fifth grade that the shorter Gemara, the shorter placements are always the harder ones.
That's right. Those are not only that. Do you ever get like a short Maimon L'Kutei Torah? Oh, it's a short Maimon L'Kutei Torah. His every v'chulu is so much more packed.
Sure.
Okay.
Fine. The Teisus and Neichets and the Teisus and the Schwester.
Solomon just saying Teisus and the same thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Fine.
Zog de Mechaber. Hilchus Geneva. Shin Mem Ches, Isur Geneva, Umi Nikro Ganav, Umeiza Shor, Mischayev, Uboy Ches Sifim. Sif Aleph. Osur Lignev, Afilu Kol Shehu, Din Teiro. Afilu menemt weniger
Right, less than Shabbat Pruta, yeah.
So less than the Shabbat Pruta. The also Lignev, and it's also to steal, Afilu Derech Schoik, even for a joke. In other words, you're not be'etzem want to steal from him. You just want to get him upset or scared or whatever. Just for a joke,
Or even just a prank.
A prank, right. Even for a prank, you know how to do it. Even if you take it just for no prank, just tamazoi,
No, I'm going to give it back.
Or you want to act like a tzaddik and you want to give him some extra money. So what do? You steal from him in order to be chayev tashlume kefil.
Right, and now he'll accept it from you, where he usually wouldn't accept it from you.
Like that, he wouldn't. He wouldn't otherwise. But now he has to. So then he says, "Oi kedei letzaroi," or you want to get back at him. You don't want to steal from him, but you want to teach him a lesson.
Right, make him nervous.
Yeah.
Or like the mice that you said before from the Baal Shem Tov, where
because
you want to teach him a lesson not to leave his stuff around.
Yeah, the whole from that was a huge tikkun from the Baal Shem Tov. And the reason why it's also these things is that, so then we're going to go into the whole thing now. What's the pshat kedei shelo yargil atmei bekach? Seemingly that the last cases are not midoraisa, but we're going to show how you could even.
I don't know if it's in here where he has it, because I remember that, because I believe that was from Shulchan Aruch Harav. That because there's some that hold that no, also lignev kolshu is din teira, and all the other ones that chayk and Litzayir and K'tei Lahachzir is midrabanon. But we saw that the Alter Rebbe holds that no, the Mechaber is talking about, and the Psak is according to the Alter Rebbe, that even all of these things are mid'iraisa and not.
But he holds, the Alter Rebbe holds that the Mechaber holds that it's all deraisa. He holds that.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. The Alter Rebbe is not because from the words of the Mechaber, it leaves a little bit open to how you want to read it. And
Right.
the Alter Rebbe holds that that he's saying no, he's saying that
So the Alter Rebbe says that
meaning the
this
Alter
is what
Rebbe
the,
holds that the Mechaber holds this way also.
oh, that's what I was going to ask you. I understand the Alter Rebbe himself holds that way, but
Yeah, meaning
does
he's
he
taking
hold
it
that the
from the
Alter Rebbe,
Mechaber, and
that
that's
the
how he's
Mechaber?
reading. That's how he's reading the Mechaber's words.
Okay, but say that. We
Yeah.
can look at the Alter Rebbe also later, okay?
Right, because what's the question people think? Because they kadeshli argalatzmi bekach, and then of
Yeah.
course like we had the different answers on that. That first of all the Torah sometimes also can bring a reasons. That's why the Torah is so machmir. But in either case, Alter Rebbe holds that it is the whole thing midei raisa. Fine. Should we do the smeh?
The smell, yeah. The smell sagt also, okay, also lignev afilu kol shehu, the k'moshe chatzi shiurin, le'inyan nisul chele v'dam also min atero, afa gabdein leikin olov, k'mevur b'mkeima, b'yorideh v'erechaim v'ilchus yom kippur, kach chatzi shiur, le'inyan momen, gam ken also min atero, afa gabdein leikin olov.
Right. So the same we see that in Isurim that it has a chi of malchus. If you don't do the shear, you don't get the malchus. I taki you don't get the malchus, but you were still over the isur, even though you don't get the malchus. It's funny because in a way there's a half. I mean, it's worse that way, because at least you got the malchus. You were punished down here.
Right.
If you didn't get the malchus, you did the lav, and you never received punishment. It could be worse in a way.
Yes.
But so the same thing here, that the paying that there's no malchus, there's paying back.
Right.
And then the same thing in your mammon, you don't what's it called? You wouldn't also, because it's not considered a shear. So the same thing in mammon is just like the malchus. However, you still able the lav, and only you're able the lav. You're able the lav midday raisa. With less than a shear is midday raisa still.
Now it doesn't say over here anything. The Smed doesn't say anything over here that you're not that by pochot that chatzishir pochot mishkei chatzishir. It doesn't say anything over here that you don't have to pay him back.
Not yet, because that comes later.
Okay.
That's because it's gonna be clear in the I think later. Yeah, it's gonna be later in Siv base, I think. So that's why he's leaving it. He's leaving it alone right now.
ואפילו מנס להחזיר פירוש ולא גונבו אלא למקט ולצערוי. Yeah?
Yeah.
כך פירוש ביסיוס דברי הטור, אבל המחבר דקוסוב אחר זה כדי לצערוי צורך להיות זה מה שקוסוב מנס להחזיר לא יצא לא אומר שלוקחו לצורכו להחזירוי בעינוי אחר כך. בעינו means in front of him, right?
I think so, yeah.
As opposed to the other one, Stam,
which is a very funny thing the Smell is saying.
Well, he's saying there's two different scenarios. They're explaining it. The Tur is saying one scenario, and the Tur is saying that he's returning it back inconspicuously, right?
Meaning, okay, fine.
And according to the Mechaber,
is Kidei Letzare.
Right.
And he's but the Mechaber is holding that it's a Kedei Litzare, and then there's I don't want to be Mitzarim at all. In fact, I'm going to take it. I'm just going to I need the money for something. I'm going to basically borrowing without permission.
That's one case, and then also
other case Litzare.
Litzare, as opposed to both in one. You know what I'm saying? לשלם את השומי כיפר פירש רש"י, שרויצה להנויסוי...
Wait, that's already... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, fine, okay. Yeah.
I think so,
no? You're right. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. פירש שרויצה להנויסוי, that בעצם he likes a guy who wants to be מהנה him by giving him money. ויודע בו שלא יקבלנו ממנו. But if he goes up to him and he offers him the money, he won't want to accept it from him. Right. So what does he do?
He comes up with that kunz, how he could.
He goes, he takes it away from him, and
I want to give him $10. So
Yeah.
I'll steal $10 and I'll tell him, oh, I stole $10 from you.
Right. Okay, I do the
Fine,
shach. Also lignev chulav b'shas reish perek bava kama mashma the ganav chayv l'shalom meidis kemazik. כך הוא זריף, והראש והנימוקי יוסף וכן מהרשע וכן הוא הדין לקמון סימן okay, so you have to, this is something we have to bear in mind.
Right, that you have to pay back from
You
the
have to
from
pay
the
that
bank.
it's a very important thing. We should remember this, that you have to pay
From
you
the
know
Edis.
you have to pay from the
Yeah,
edis.
you got to pay from the good stuff.
Yeah weiter. Okay, base
Fine,
כל
base
הגוינה
yeah.
זוג דמחבר, כל הגוינה ואפילו שווה פרוטה עבר עליו דלא תגנובו וחייב לשלם. אחד הגוינה מום בישראל ואחד הגוינה מום של עכו"ם ואחד הגוינה מגודל או מקוטן. I guess everything is חייב לשלם. Okay,
Yeah, so
Tos
yes.
עכו"ם כגוין להטעויסוי בחשבון. This is a little cryptic, these words, not understood. Tos akum means if the akum makes a mistake, and then he says kegoin lat oisoi becheshben, right?
Right, like to make him make a mistake in the cheshbon.
Yeah. Oy leafkia alvosoi or leafkia alvosoi muter. What is leafkia alvosoi?
Right, Hashem. Why does he want it should be a chillah? Hashem.
I think if he forgot, no.
Yeah, so it seems like. Let's see. Let me just look and see if anybody has what do you call it? Explains what the case is exactly. The case is talking about here. Let's see. That brings also.
You looking at the tour or what?
Yeah. He brings it very shorthand, and it wasn't in the sequel either. This thing. It basically means he's not. He has the money. He's not returning. He borrowed money. He's not returning borrowed money.
What does Afkia Halvosa mean? I think
I guess the guy forgot about
I think the guy like forgot or something. No,
it must be because if he knows it's a chil Hashem, that's a problem.
so he says that you can make yourself as if you forgot too. If he forgot,
I guess right. So you also forgot, and
if
he didn't say anything. So I'm just going to that's what it seems like. Yeah. So it's like if he forgot, I guess you're assuming he forgot because he's not asking for it. So he must have forgot. And then you'll act like, and then oh, so I also forgot, whatever. And then if he comes to tell you, say, oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. Yeah, Take, you loaned me. Oh, I forgot about it. I'm so glad you reminded me.
But that has to be a
No.
situation. That's a case by case. That has to be a situation where you don't have when him thinking that you're trying to nod him up.
Right. So that's he says next.
That's so that's why I think what he's trying to say. That's why it has to be treated case by case. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to see Sanachil Hashem.
Weitergegangen.
All right, that's sidetracked for a second, but he's saying that basically you're able to do that again if you forget. And you basically make like you forget as long as it's like a Hashem.
Well, what he's saying is like this, basically that so according to that, if he made a mistake either in a cheshbon, right, and by the way, lahataisei actually means that you're leading him to make a mistake in the cheshbon. That's lahataisei, okay, or you're
Well, he's
like,
making a mistake.
yeah, but that's not lahataisei, and that would make sense because the yeshemrim.
I don't understand it. I don't
Well,
understand.
I understand how you're making a mistake. But in this case, you're allowing him to make a mistake in the or you're misleading
You
him.
see, there's a thing of this. It's different if it's
No, but here's lahat taisei.
this is a toisa. This your mamish actively misleading him. You're misleading him.
Yeah. The other case is of Kiyas Alvase is, let's say he loaned me money. And so I'm
And he overlooks it, and he
which is
overlooks
a little
it.
bit weirder because how do you trick him into overlooking it? I don't know. So it's a little weird.
No,
Like, it's a little far-fetched.
I tell
How
you
do you
how.
trick him into what do you call it?
He forgot about it, and you don't reckon,
Well,
and you
or
don't.
you know what
He
you could
forgot about it, and you don't,
no,
and you
no,
don't remind
you
him.
could have lahat taisei. You could have lahat taisei. What's lahat taisei?
Don't
Because
remind him.
we have to say it's lahat taisei because then there's a yesh emrim that you can only do it if he made the mistake himself. So that means here we're talking about lahat taisei. What's lahat taisei? Let's say I borrowed $20 from a guy, and then 2 months later I come back and I tell him, "Oh, here's the $10 I owe you." And now in his mind he thinks it was $10, and so you were so that's lahat taisei.
Very good.
That's okay.
No, that's not what's it called? Well, it's
Doesn't make
according to the first yesh emrim, yes.
Interesting.
According to the first, but ubilvad she'idei the lekachil Hashem, which basically means don't do it. even according to that svara. B, there's a yesh emrim. There's a yesh emrim that it's usher unless he himself made the mistake.
Same thing would be like in a taxi. If you took a taxi and the driver
And the
forgot
guy, whatever, he mischarged, or you went to a store, they gave you the wrong change. They gave you too much change. In the store of a guy.
That's not the hatoisui.
That's im tom miatzmi.
The only
that's already im tom miatzmi.
That you
lahataisai would be you tell him, okay, so you owe me what, $10 in change, and he really owed you $5. And tell him, what do you owe me? $10 in change, and he gives you $10. Okay, thank you so much. That's lahataisai.
The guy forgets that he borrowed you money, or he comes and asks you for $10 when he lent you 20. That's his mistake, and you're allowed to do it. According to all people.
Meaning he did it by himself, or you misled him.
Meaning you borrowed $20, and a week later he comes to you, where's my $10? Or he completely forgets about it. You don't do anything; he just forgets about it, and you don't remember.
Okay, so that's already the next scenario. The first yesh emrim is mutar lahat taisei. The second one is the Rama brings is v'yesh emrim, which the Rama actually holds by in this case, right? Because it's what is it? The stam and the yesh emrim or whatever. So it goes by. So he's passing by the yesh emrim. that you can't trick him. If he did it by himself, then it's mutter. Now, but Payil nowadays you have to be very, very careful about such a thing because listen, fine.
Almost every case about Tyson nowadays will turn into Chil Hashem.
The problem is that nowadays, even if he made the toast himself, it could turn into Achil Hashem. So you have to be very careful. Now, if you not only that, it's also you're giving up the opportunity for a Kiddush Hashem, because even they made a mistake and they gave you the wrong change. When you walk back up and tell them, "Excuse me, sir, you gave me 25 cents too much," it's a big Kiddush Hashem Pashut. So really,
Question is,
but mitzad the iser being over on the lav, right? Here we're not talking about what's the proper way a Jew and Allah Haskam Bakama a chassid should act. We're talking about mitzad being over on the lav. So mitzad being over on the lav, there's one yesh emrim that you can mamish trick him, and the second yesh emrim is no, only if he made the mistake himself.
So the second yesh emrim say also as long as you're going to get Chil Hashem, or only
he doesn't mention it.
Only the first yesh emrim.
Yeah, why? I don't know.
So
in other words, you could read it both ways. Listen, mistama b'derech klal, it's also to make a chil Hashem. So one would assume, right? But he doesn't spell it out here. One would assume that both Yeshemrims, if there's gonna be a chil Hashem, you got a problem. Why? Because nothing to do with the Geneva. You know what I'm saying? There's the Geneva part of it. Are you over on Geneva or not? So that they're arguing on. Now, if there's going to be a chil Hashem, there's no who says there's a machlekes there at all. But he doesn't mention it. So in theory, you could read it both ways.
Maybe he didn't actively do anything. He didn't make the mistake. So maybe they're not so worried about chil Hashem. Like he didn't actively do anything. You just didn't.
Right. So no. So fine. Right. So no. So you're right. Sometimes there won't be, but then again, sometimes even if you're mad to him, there won't be. According to the first Yeshemrim, even the Hat Taisa, if there's no Chil Hashem, so like it seems the Chil Hashem is a separate issue. Meaning, are you allowed mitzad Geneva to trick him, or no? That's the machlekes. That the first Yeshemrim says, right? It says that you're allowed to trick him. And the second one says, no, only if he made the mistake himself, then it's mutter. Again, mitzad geneva. Mitzad chil Hashem. I mean, again, it would be like Chazan was saying before, that a lot of these kind of things are case by case scenarios. Meaning, if it taka would be a chil Hashem, if the guy made a mistake, but it's the kind of thing that you should have noticed, and they're going to know that you should have noticed it, and now you're making, this is how Jews are, they're rip-offs and whatever, then it could still be a chil Hashem, really. In other words, it could be he doesn't spell it out because it's not necessary. Obviously, a case where you're making a chil Hashem, it's its own isser. It's not even part of the isser of Geneva. Meaning, he's saying, even the first guy is saying, you don't have an Isra Geneva in such a case, but hang on, you're going to have an Isra of Chil Hashem if you're causing a Chil Hashem. So be careful of that. So there's no reason to really argue with that, but that's...
You're actively doing something. You're telling him, you're making him...
Fine, it doesn't make a difference. Ultimately, you can't cause a Chil Hashem.
Yeah, so saying maybe that's why he's more worried about Chil Hashem, so he's saying...
Why? Because you're doing Biyodayim. Maybe, but the Chil Hashem is usually a Chil Hashem. So, but yeah, I don't. But whatever. Maybe somewhere it's written more about this. That
if the guy realizes you made him make a mistake, it's much more of a chance to be a Chil Hashem than if you just made a mistake. That's why he has to more.
No, right. Not because you mamish cheated him. No, so I'm saying it's going to be it's in other words the milsa de shchiche. Milsa de shchicha is by the first yesh and there's more of a chance of a chil Hashem for sure, right? But that said, let's say it's the kind of thing that you should have known, that you should have known at some point that he made a mistake and you didn't say nothing about it. Once he realized, right? So mistamid, the same thing of chil Hashem would also apply. Elamai, usually it's not milsa de shchicha, it's not the usual. Usually it's more so in the first case. Yeah. Fine. Ezeu Ganov.
Okay, so how we leheskem? What? How do we? What's bleibt da benegea to?
So, from the Ramah.
Yeah, when it
From the
says
Ramah is from
so
Ramah
we have
he brings
tos
that
akum when it was his mistake. Leatoisoi when you put a stumbling block on him, so he should make
right. So then there's a machlek. If he makes the mistake himself, it's mitzad geneva. There's no question. It's mutter. You're not over on geneva. Right. Let's put the question of Chilul Hashem aside altogether for now. Right. If he makes the mistake, you are not over on geneva. According to everybody.
yeah.
Now the question is, are you allowed to mislead him? So according to the first Yashemrim, yeah, you can even mislead him, so long as there's not going to be a Chilul Hashem. And the second Yashemrim, which it seems that Ramah himself holds by, is that no, you can't be mad to him. That not at kedei. If he made the mistake himself, yeah. If not, no. So that's the Ramah.
Yeah, but when you say you may, is there any limit of how you can put a stumbling block on him, or you just?
Meaning,
Yeah, the limit is that
anything that you did to cause him to make this mistake.
right. Just the limit is don't just make sure you don't get caught.
Is you weren't involved in him. You didn't make him make the mistake, or assist him in make the mistake, or
Okay, v'yeshemim de osur latoisoi Elohim to me'atzmoi shori, which is the
right. So that in Tob Atzmai everybody holds. Now again, everybody holds that shori mitzad hilchis geneva.
But or du willst mekadesh Shem Shamayim, or that you hold that there's not going to be a Chilul Hashem involved, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But lekula alma, if there's a chance there's going to be Chilul Hashem, I don't think that you'd be permitted even.
Right. I think the reason he didn't bring it up is because it's a whole separate. There's no machlekes on that piece. Elamai, it like milsa de shchichi is if you made him make the mistake. It's gonna be it's more of a chance that's gonna lead to a Chilul Hashem. Whereas if he made the mistake himself, in most cases like that, he can imagine that you didn't realize. But let's say it's a certain case where for sure you would have realized after, right? Then it possibly would be a Chilul Hashem. And again, a Chilul Hashem is its own whole set of halachas, right? Here we're talking about Hilchas Gneva, so he doesn't bother mentioning that again, since it was mentioned already. Yeah. That's what it would seem.
Right. Okay, let me do the Smeh, yeah?
Yeah, so Smeh, were we holding a Smeh Dalid, yeah?
Yeah. Smeh Dalid Chutz.
No,
what are you talking about? Alav de loy signoivu, pirush, loy signoivu, hakosu v'pashas kedoshim demare begeneves momen, del nilmed minyon de ksav betzido l'schash v'l'shakru, aval loy signoiv hakosu b'asersa dibrois, aidi begoinev nefoshes, de chai b'leo miso. It's all capital.
Right, and that's the what do you call it? In the Aseres Harugim Malchus, right? He tells him, "Gain the vision of Chorim Beis Yumas." That's like signiv. That's like signiv. This right is like signiv. Different thing.
Leider gekent lernen. Leider, he figured it out that's not talking about.
Right, he knew that this was that it's a.
No, Elenu, in Kisveri says that it says in Pasuk, "Kel nekomas Hashem, kel nekomas Sophia," is in every generation. Lo Elenu, there's the sorry erugim malchus. Lo Elenu. As state, and that's what we say. Kel nekomas Hashem, kel nekomas Sophia, because every day we want there should be nekoma. If there has to be this, so that the day should nekem zayin of zay.
Yeah.
As I stated, and that's why there says that's what we say every morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Oi hagoinev moment shel akum dumya de gezel haakum de osur. which we'll talk later. There's Gezelok Akum and there's Genevas Akum.
Right.
Okay, so we'll go into that in Mitzvah Hashem later.
And I think it could be the shot goes into a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
Adar, let me involve in the sma v'yeshem deosru la'teisei v'lomdu zeh mideosru afilu begnevas das. What that means?
Right? Gnevas das is you're not allowed to do Gnevas das on a guy.
Does Genevas das apply to a goy the same applies to a yid? In other words, you go into a store and you know very well that you're not going to buy something over there, and you start trying jackets on, and you start trying shoes on, and
which is a funny thing because he's explaining the Hashemrim, right?
Yeah.
But now how would that have and for themselves? So what's the havamina that you could? The Hashemrim I understand. If even Gnevas das is asur, so for sure the hataisei is what's it called? Unless maybe the first Yashemrim, it could be he would still be chayiv mitzad Gnevas das, but he wouldn't be chayiv mitzad.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll tell you why. I don't think so. It's a lumdisha answer you just gave. You just gave right now. It's a lumdisha answer. I see it. I see what you're doing, but I don't think so. I think
meaning bichlal. You see here bichlal in this sugya. You see a lot that he's that he's focusing on. Are you chayiv on signevu? Right. That seems to be.
I think your question is still a question. In other words,
But
is
it's
it? In other words, is the person who holds that that's also mutar lehatoisoi? If you hold that, is it because there's no genevas das by a goy?
Right.
Ken sein as azach
Or right. Maybe
You know what I'm saying?
genevas das, yeah, but leisig nevo no.
Or maybe not.
Or is he holding it's a whole it's a whole different thing and it's not even Gnevas das.
Right. Or does he hold that Gnevas das megmen yo by a goy?
Right. So the Smeh says explains very well the Yashemim. But the Havamim,
yeah, they also say even on the love the Gnevas das. Doesn't because if there's Gnevas das, so also la toise for sure, right? One is b'machshava and one is b'dibur. Verstehst? Ein Sach nimmst du weg und der zweite Sach nimmst du nicht weg. You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, I think the Bira Gira is it looks like I think might.
Let's see, take it away. Where?
The Bira Gira Yud Gimel. V'yashemrim.
Okay, let's tackle it. Yeah, v'yesh agos maimonius the whole afilu genevas daitoi osru bechulin. Oh, Osru, Bechulin Tzadik Daled, Amud Aleph.
Yeah.
Will sagen, es ist Mashma, v'kach Pirish Arambam. Elo, shekoset de Av, bekehai Gavne Davke, shomer Chazid de Alecha Kesabchino. When the Goy tells a Yid, I'm soymach on you.
Right. Okay, so that would be the difference.
And then that would be permitted.
So that would be the difference here. Here it's not in a case where he didn't say that I'm relying on you.
Because of the Berav Kahana, Magid Mishnah Kosav Mihu Be'uv the Shmuel Veravina Mashma the Ein Tzorich. You don't have to come on to that case in order to be part.
He doesn't have to say Chazid Alek Kesamichna.
No. Even without that, he's still part of it. But of Kahana, Mimidus Chasidus who the Ovad. Zestu in the Gemara of Kahana did it, right?
Right.
Arav.
Right, because he wasn't talking halacha, he was talking Midas Chasidus.
Midas Chasidus, yeah. Ve'odrai mashkos of Yochel. Yochel
Yigloim, I'm not sure what that is.
Yigloim, Pirush Ateis, the Rash B'Sham B'Shem Haruch Sheite as a Akum.
That's what Yigloim means, that'll trick him, yeah.
The Tos Akum Muteres also La Toisoi. במקום שיודע העכו"ם שגויזל ואויסה אס וכלא יודע. In other words, the whole objection of Osir Lehatoisoi is because ultimately the guy will chap on what you're doing. Which, this is where the Gro is explaining it, at least according to the Rishonim, it seems that intrinsically would be permitted. And only because chances are that he's having you on to see if you're honest or not.
Right. So meaning the whole problem is Chil Hashem there.
Yeah. To see that intrinsically it's mutter. That's what I said. And the only reason that not is because the chances of him
right.
being
So which is why he mentions that. So that explains why the Havamina says Bilvad Shalei Yidei Leikich Hashem.
Ja, weiter. אבל בשם האורוך, שנוסן זוז העכו"ם יוצא בסוף שישמח העכו"ם וילך מהירו. Was meint das? אבל פירש, נמוקה יוסף פירש, בשם האורוך, שנוסן זוז לעכו"ם יוסר בעבור שישמח העכו"ם וילך מהירו. I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying. I don't know in what context he said it.
So right. So basically, the Muki Yosef was mafarish that different. Rashi was mafarish that he tricked the guy with the zuz, and then the Muki Yosef is mafarish completely different. Is that he gave the guy an extra zuz because he just wanted to get rid of. He just wanted to take it.
You get rid of him already. He wants him to go already, and he gives him take it down. Sei gesund or don't.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's really which is interesting.
So it's funny because Rashi and the Muki Yosef they're mafarish that the Gemara they're completely
totally different. Mamish like opposite. Yeah.
Fine.
We can schon gehen weiter, yeah? Gimel, right? Is there any shach to do? Any shach?
Shach. Yeah, shach. Shach base.
Oy hagoin of mom shalakum mashma mekan de also mit der Reise. Kach also verashal, perik hagezel. The Siron de Harambam, Betur, Smag, shekose beloshen haze, de also mit der Reise. Ein schon. Because we can al mashikosu ben Arabe
look at the lotion of the smeh of smehei. Doom you the gezel akum the asur. The Shach says mashma they can't also mean the raisa.
Could be.
I don't know if this means the same thing or not.
I want to tell you something. The mechaber that is not necessarily a diuk, because the mechaber, right, groups a regular Geneva and Geneva's akum together.
You're right. So it's right. So it's mashma. So it's mashma. It's yeah. From the wording, it's mashma.
I'll tell you more than that.
And not only that, and he uses the word echad ha'geiniv mammon Yisrael, oy geiniv mammon. Yeah.
And he uses the word doraisa also.
Yeah.
So the word doraisa.
Right.
Right? Also, ligno b'afilu kol din teira. Right? The word din teira.
And not just that. And after the akum, then he says ve'echad ha'geiniv migodlim mikotin. So it's the same echad. Yeah.
So liflok belist.
You're right. I agree. You're right.
So that it should be liflok beliste b'didei. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you wanted to say it's about b'med dvarim amurim b'Yisrael.
Right. No, I agree. You're right. So it's so Mistama Justice Smeh considers it obviously he's Mekatzer in the.
He's Mekatzer. I can't believe for a moment.
Right, because from the words of the Mechaber, you're right. From the words of the Mechaber, there's no room to read it that way.
Right. Now you'll tell me that other people hold on this, Okay, aber nicht der Machabe. Fein. Andere halten nicht also wie Machabe und nicht also wie die Rambam und nicht also wie der Smag, ja, nicht also wie der Tur. Aber nicht der Machabe halt anders. Er halt dieselbe Sache, no?
Yeah, good.
You know, okay, fine. But you know the Rambam, Tzikot Belosh and said, there's a rise of Bekoshi, Bekanan, Bashikos, and Behara Behago. What's this? Ebenezer?
Yeah, Evan Ezer Reish Simon Chav Ches.
Okay, yeah, okay.
By Kadesha Begezel.
Die Bekannte gewinnen a Freu mit Gesel, ja? Aret Meshu Mekudezu.
Sorry, Kidsha Begezel. He was Mekadesh with Gezel.
Mekadesh, I'm saying Kidsha Mekadesh
Oh,
gewinnen.
Gneva
Das Meishe Yisrael, nur mit der ganze Knack.
Right, having Mikudeshes. Wait a second. So how is she Mikudeshes? If you're saying it's
No, I know
right, the ha ain't it tzricha lahachzir ak mishum kiddush Hashem.
Oh, this is not talking about. He's talking about Tos Akum must be, no?
No, not even my Tos Akum. He's talking in a different case. He's talking about if he was Mekadisher with Gezel or Nevas Akum, she's Mekudish.
Akum,
She's Mekudish. The only reason there she has to return it is because of the Chil Hashem, of the Gezel or the Gneva. So hang on a second. So how you telling me then that
what's the kasha? The Ramo holds in Nebuchadnezzar that Mekudeshes? That's what you're telling me? Okay, so what's the kasha? It's spelled out the kasha.
So the kasha is if you're is it's mashma from there that you weren't even on a lav. It's not considered gneva. You own it. And the only reason there he said you might have to return it is because of a chil Hashem.
Yeah, but what case is he talking about over there?
He's talking about somebody that was mekadesh a woman with money that he stole from a guy.
Mamish, not
he robbed, he ganvit or gazlan the guy. And now he takes, right, he took this ring from a guy and he gives it to a woman. He
says clearly, look, kitcha begezel of gneva sakum, have mekudeshes.
Yeah.
So
because here you're telling me he's able midiraisa. That means it's not his.
Right.
You don't own it. How can you make mekadesh for something that's not yours?
Not clear.
Yeah. Anyway, he brings a big kasha.
Okay, let me get invited.
In other words, this doesn't sit with that with that case.
Okay, so we're ready to go start Gimel, I think, no?
Gimel, yeah, v'yeshem the asal latesi.
ויש לי מאוד להתויסר חולה, אינתם ביום ששלוימה, פרק יוד, דבו כמה, סיבן חוף, both of yesh emrim, like the yesh emrim is also, no? That's the
yeah. That's the
Rashal. The Rashal says that.
Yeah.
It's also la toisei. Give me a second. You'd gimel also la toisei. Mordechai. God's moment. It don't say here. It's the Rashal. Okay. Bada Geshem, Bekosov Shalom Dimkomokum Yemer Lo Yisrael Reshal Cheshbonecho Aniseimach. Yeah, we did this. We did this in the Grove. You remember?
Right. So he should.
Of course,
and he should make it clear. Listen, I'm not counting it. I'm relying on your count. I'm not going to count it. So then there's no. So what you see here? So what you see here? You see here that the Yesh Emrim also holds you have to be careful from Chil Hashem.
The what?
We see here that the Yesh Emrim also holds you have to be careful from.
I told you when you learned this. Remember what's the limitation? You know, it must be that.
Here we go. Because why? That he says you have to say the cheshbein and to make. Even so, he has to make sure.
Like you pointed out, there's two different cheshbeinos. There's a cheshbein of
one is a cheshbein of Geneva. Are you allowed to ganve him? Another one, even if you're not allowed to ganve him, are you allowed to make a chilul Hashem? So we see
because
here.
of Shom Bekomokim Yeber LeYisrael Rei Shal Cheshbonecha Nisemech V'gam Hafkos Halvo Eino Muter Elo Kshechav L'Sham LeDerech Meches or Derech Chayv. In other words, is it what by like
meaning a loan, meaning I borrowed money from you, but not if I'm but not derech mekach memka. That like
what
if
does
I
it actually
if
mean?
I
That
if I buy
know what
something from you,
Hafkor means, but
I'm going to come pay you later. No, that you can't. Only if it was a halva, but not if it was a halva derech mekach memka. Only if it was
what's
derech halva. If you remember, by halva, one of the things of ribis deiraisa is it has to be derech halva, right? Not derech mekach memka. So here also he's saying basically there's a differentiation that of course halva, right, is only that's even when he made a mistake, right? He forgot. Is only when it's derech halva, but derech mekach memker, no.
fine.
Anyway, Shalom, the Shach answer that what you brought up. It would seem that the Indian of Chilul Hashem is a whole separate issue. That's it's its own issue. That there's the issue of Gneva that they argue on, and on the issue of Chilul Hashem, that's across the board. You have to make sure not to make it
So
Chilul
why does
Hashem.
one mention it and one? So why does one mention it and one not? That's what's interesting here.
What? Well, why? So mistama because of Milsa de Shchichi. It's in other words.
What does
In
exactly?
other words, it's in most what's it called? You usually there's either you could say milsa shleich, or you could say alternatively you could say because the Havamin already brought it up. The first Yeshem brought it up already, so he's not arguing on that. So he has no need to pursue. He's not bringing it up. That part I agree with you. I'm not arguing. I'm only arguing on this part. So therefore, he only brings this part. That's another way you could look at it. But the Shach seems to clearly hold the yeah. Okay, so now going to Shin Nun test, right? Shin Nun test in the Mechaber.
What do you say?
Shin
Gimel.
Nun test. So that was Hilchas Gneva. Now we
didn't do Gimel and Dalet.
We didn't watch. No. We didn't do Gimel yet, did we?
No, we didn't do in the
Dalet we're
Mechaber.
not supposed to do it. It turns out it's just Gimel in there, and
Gimel,
then it's
yeah?
Aleph to Dalet. Yeah, but let me just we didn't do Gimel yet, so let's do Gimel.
No, איזו גנב, הלוקח מומן אודם בסייסר, ואין הבעלים יודעים, אבל אם לוקח בגולוי ופרפרסיה, אין זה גנב אלא גזלן. Okay. There's
Fine.
one.
Is there a smell?
Yeah, there's one smell. ואין הבעלים יודעים, אפילו יודעים מזה, כיוון שהגנב מת מן
All right, he's hiding.
כדי שלא יהיה נקרא גנב, כך הוא עטור לפוקי, הבוא לגזר מיד הבעלים, דנקרא גזלן, כמו שכוזר בניהו, ויגזר את החונס מיד המצרי, ונפקא מינה, דאין הגזלן חייב בכיפו, ולא בדל והי, אם טבח ומוכר.
Right, he's only chayav to return to replace. So here he's bringing what we learned before in the Sikkum, is that it has nothing to do with Einab with the owners didn't know, they didn't know. It has to do with your intention. What were you trying to do? Meaning if I'm a thief, right, and I'm sneaking into your house to steal something, and then you look on the cameras and you saw that I snuck into your house and stole something, it doesn't make me a Yisganev. No, I'm a Gazlan. Why? Because I'm on the camera. So you saw me. It's only if you don't see me. No. It has nothing to do with if I saw you. It's the fact that I was sneaking. It's the fact, like we learned, that it's about, am I afraid of people more than I'm afraid of the Eibishter? That I was sneaking. So, okay, fine. Somebody happened to see my hiding place. I was still hiding. Right? And we said that Leidach is right. If the Gazlan was hiding, he's not a Ganev, right? Because he has to be hiding because he's afraid people will catch him. Where a Gazlan can hide also. He hides as a tactic because he's gonna pounce out on you right when you're passing the right spot.
So you have to be mefaded. So you have to be mefaded. If the reason why he's hiding is in order to use his tactic, right? He's not a Ganav. He's still a Goslin.
He's a Goslin.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
On the other hand,
and
if a Ganav was sneaking in and somebody saw him sneaking in, it doesn't make him a Ganav. He's still a Ganav. Right? It's about what are you trying to do here?
Was.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you trying to do here?
Afraid of people, not afraid of Hashem.
Right. The fact that somebody happened to see him, he's still a Ganav. And a Goslin, the fact that he was hiding, but right. So the bottom line is, are you doing it because you're afraid of people catching you? So if yes, you're a Ganav because you're sneaking. And why? Why are you sneaking?
It's not stam. Why is he? It's not stam whether he's hiding or not. It's why is he hiding?
Right. Yeah. Why is he hiding?
He's hiding
because he's afraid of people. Then he's a Ganav. If he's not afraid of people, it's just a tactic or whatever it is. Then he's a Goslin.
Yeah.
Who decides? How do you know?
How do you know? Because if the guy jumped out and said stick him up, you know he's a Goslin. If he was sneaking and you saw him and somebody saw him later on the camera sneaking, you know he's a Ganav. That's a B. You're really asking a separate question. You're asking how do you prove it? Here we're talking about what are you? Well, you bein elevain atzmei. What are you over on? Right? Which lav did you? For example, if I eat chazer and nobody saw me, I still eat chazer.
We never even asked me makes no difference. The real difference is about kefel or like about
it's right, and it's not even going to be about his chiyuv of kefel. It's going to be about the Beis Din enforcing it.
Eminot, Daled v'hei, you're over only what? On both,
by shochat v'tovach.
I know that, but is by Ganav or by Goslin, or no by Ganav?
No, only by Ganav, not by Goslin.
Right. It's same as
Goslin only.
Right.
Not kefil and not Daled v'hei.
He just pays the
right. Just principle. Principle only. Exactly.
Just the Karen.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing this chiluk in a mafkid. No, I have to look it up.
In a mafkid doesn't mention anything about Goslin paying Daled v'hei.
It pays Daled v'hei, kefil Daled v'hei.
But he's talking about a Ganav.
Geneva, he brings down Gazelle over there, the case of Gazelle. I have to.
He doesn't mention like He doesn't mention that he doesn't pay kefil, but he does pay Daled v'hei. He just mentioned that he doesn't pay. I think he just mentioned he doesn't pay knas or he doesn't pay kefil.
No, right. He doesn't pay knas. So you have to extend that yourself to that. It's to me.
Yeah. I think you have to figure out yourself. Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Jetzt was? Shin Mem Ches, we did what we had to do.
So Shin Nun Tes Hilchos Gezela. So that was Hilchos Geneva. Now we go into Hilchos Gezela.
Okay. That is in Shin Nun Tes, right?
Yeah, Shin Nun Tes.
A minute. Let me just 1 second, please. Let me do something over here. Okay.
One of I was telling Avi one of these days we're going to publish your notes.
Whose notes?
Yours.
Oh.
We're going to publish your notes as a.
I need somebody to proofread them.
Yeah.
I don't want to Gezerah Chadosh, and you know the Rebbe
Listen,
said.
by the way, everybody, even big people, they all have people proofread.
Sure. Do you know?
You want to?
Do you know Chaim David Kagan used to be in Detroit. He lived in Monsey now.
Yeah.
His father, who lived in England, I remember the father, Allah Shalom. Gewinne Chabad, alte Chabad Chosid. Hat Magia given Rabbi Cheskel Abramski's Sfarim. Do you know Rabbi Cheskel Abramski? That was a tremendous person. He wrote a tremendous ksovim, and who proofread it? Rabbi Kagan, his father. That's Cheskel Abramski given a grace, a grace cop.
Yeah.
Do you know the anivas of Cheskel Abramski?
Huh?
Do you know the story of his anivas?
No, I don't know. It was sort
So
of
he was the Av based in London,
yes, I know. That's
and
what
they took away the Shechita Herrscher from some guy, and this guy brought the Beis Din to court, the Goyche court,
yeah.
and so they were going backwards and forwards, and the judge said, Rabbi Abramsky, is it true that you are the biggest halachic authority in the United Kingdom? And so he said, yes. And so he said, but what about humility? I'm under oath.
Yeah. So, so what do you answer?
I can't, I'm under oath. I can't help it. I have to tell the truth.
But
Sorry to interrupt,
he was a
Dr.
tremendous Gaon.
Yeah.
You know, later I think he moved to Eretz Yisrael, but when he was in England,
Right.
all the years
And
in England.
his foreign were buried with him.
Well, he
Sorry to
wrote
interrupt.
he wrote a pirush. He wrote a very big pirush on the nicht on the prices on the Tosefta.
On Tosefta, Chazon Yecheskel.
Chazon Yecheskel. That's a
And
tremendous.
those foreign were buried with him in his cave.
Well, it's available in the stores.
Yeah, no, but he wanted a set of his forum to
Meaning
accompany him.
a copy
A
of
copy
it.
to
To
accompany
accompany him
But he, apart from the Chazon Yecheskel, he wrote other Sfarim also. It
Yeah.
wasn't only that.
So that's what he's most famous for.
Yeah, of course, he was tremendous Gaon.
The
Everybody
other
knows.
thing he was famous for was he was the one who stopped people eating the hindquarters of animals
Oh yeah, that's the
during the Second World War.
right.
So
That's what the Gidanoshe is.
yeah, because he said if you do a proper nikur, you end up with ground beef, and
Wow,
beef
shit.
was very expensive, and so he got the British authorities to agree that we're not going to do nikur in the United Kingdom, and that's how it spread to everywhere else.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I just checked it up on Bava Kama Daf Ayin Tes. He mentions how a Gazan doesn't pay Bava Chamisha.
Yeah.
Oh, good. According to the Gemara.
Where Gemara? Which Gemara is it?
Ayin Tes Amor Beis. He
Bava
says about
Kama.
a certain person that he pays for Bava Chamisha. But he asks, but he's not a Gazan, he's a Ganev. He's not a Ganev, he's a Gazan because they saw him, and the Gazan doesn't pay Bava Chamisha. They're not explaining how he's a Ganev, but he mentions there how
Oh, come Ein Tes.
Amud Beis. Amud Beis, the
Amud
beginning of the
Beis.
Amud, on the top of the Amud.
Yeah.
Amud Rabbi Lazar.
Yeah, Gazan Einoi. I'm just gonna look it up afterwards. Just taking Einoi Mishalem.
Starts with Amud Rabbi Lazar.
Yeah, Kefel Daldehei. It doesn't pay nothing, none of that.
Yeah.
Okay, Shinun Tes. Isur Gezelo afilu al menas lehachzir, uman nikra Gezelo ve'isur lo'sach lo'sisave. Zog de Mechaber, Sif Aleph. Osur ligzor oilashoik afilu kol shehu ben me'Yisrael, ben me'akum, ve'im hu dover teleka man de kopit bei, shori kegoin litol, מהחבילוי, מהגדר, לחצוץ בוישינוב, ואף זה אוסר בירושלמים מידס חסידס.
Right, and the reason he gave was because in the end, if a whole bunch of people will keep coming and taking matches and taking splinters, it will cause one person by himself is not causing a nezik. You're not causing any nezik at all by it. And so if there's no nezik, you're personally not liable. However, midas chasidis, but if a lot of people do it, it will ultimately cause a nezik.
Okay, how many seifim do we have to do, by the way?
4.
Okay, weiter.
Fine. So Sma Aleph.
Okay. Also, liegt so Zeit, gam Zeit, es reecho ksiv, sobo ksiv bov sein chesbain ma ben gezele Le'eshek, I guess, no?
Vaishek, yeah. What's
Le'oishek.
yeah, between
וכן הוא בטור
right,
שום.
between robbing and like oppressing.
Yeah.
Fine.
וכן הוא
Smash
בטור
something.
שום. אפילו כלשהו דחצי שיר הוא עוסק דרייסה, כמו דאוסר חצי שיר באיסורים.
Right, so just like by Gneva, by Gzela, the same thing is you're going to be even less than a Shalva Prota.
Yeah, the same thing. Those חצי שיר באיסורים, the same cloud.
But you're still over on the lav.
בין בישראל, בין מעכום, דגזל עכום בגניבוסן אסור ולא התירו אלו להטויזם בחשבון והפקוס הלבוסה.
Like we just learned.
Yeah, I still don't have it clear what does hafkos alvose mean, but anyway.
Hafkos alvose means I'm not returning. I don't pay him back his loan. I borrowed money from him. I don't pay him back.
I obviously he's talking about when he's oblivious to that.
No, it depends. Lahataisei, that's mates atme.
Hafkos straight out. No.
Lahataisei would mean I somehow what's it called? I'll give you an example of La Taisei. An example of La Taisei is you borrow $20 from a guy.
I give him 10.
And then 2 months later, you figure he doesn't remember anymore, the amount, whatever. You come and say, here's your $10 back. And he goes, oh, thank you so much.
Right. That's La Taisei. That's what verstanden. You said
La
that by, yeah. Okay, but Hafko?
No, so that's La Taisei B'Hafka. Meaning hafka, you could also have a matzav of lahataisei, and you could have a matzav of mates atzmai. Like he came to you and said, by the way, didn't I lend you $10 last month, and you know it was 20. So that's mates atzmai, right? Then the other thing. So there's two things.
So hafka means
one thing is lahataisei bechashben, and one thing is lahataisei b'hafkas alva. Okay, and then one thing is mata es atzmei b'cheshbon, and another thing is mata es atzmei b'afkas alva.
Yeah. Okay, weiter.
I feel like when the Israeli government takes away a lot of property or something because you owe someone money, that's called afkar. That's the Hebrew term for when the government.
It means right. It basically means like renumerating the loan, paying up the loan. Right? When you're taking the karka, you're taking it as hafka salva. You're taking the karka as a payment for the loan. So hafka means like literally it means like settling the loan. Yeah.
Gnevas also ולא התירו אלו also דווקא דבר שלא יבוד עלוי כגון שהיו חייב להביא העכו"ם. Oh, that's a good idea. Because umurim, that's of course a chayv.
Right, and then umuram cost of Sham Bahagar that we just learned. That was the second year shemrim.
That if you owe the father money.
So he's just all he's doing is he doesn't realize that we just learned that other sif. So he's just repeating it here.
Right. Okay, weiter. So umurim kosev ba'agod right.
Yeah, that was the second year shemrim.
Right. Okay. Next, we have to do gimel. And gimel. That's.
Dalit, Smed Dalit.
Also בירושלמי דתם ביצות דאילו אויסק כן כל אחד נמצא חבילו כל והגדר הארץ. Okay.
Right, that even though you yourself are so you're not you're not personally liable because you didn't do enough of anything that would be considered damage. Okay, but if 1,000 people come and take a match, he's out of matches.
Right. Correct. Okay, Shach. Let's do Shach.
Yeah, Shach Aleph.
Shach Aleph. No.
Yeah. Also the Ligzayil Ilashik.
Oh yes, sorry. Also Ligzayil Ilashik B'Shas Mashma de Begazlan Chayv L'Shalem Meidis kemazik, like we just said by a ganav, right?
Right.
Arif v'harosh v'Yehuda shom v'chein hamarshal shom simen vo v'chein hu adin lekamon simen shin pehe
Behave,
v'simen
it's your
adin
base.
lekamon simen tov chad.
Fine.
Okay,
So
fine.
Bekitzer, just like we said by a Ganiv, that he has to pay from the Idis, also the Gazlan, same thing. Even though
Right.
he's not Chayv Knas. But the principal he has to pay back, Me'idis from the good stuff.
Right.
Shach base.
Shach beis ben me'akum kosav v'kes mishnah dai Rambam lichtov osur legazan lashu gabe akum ve'loy kosav she'oiver olov. לא יאמר שאין איסור זה מן התורה, ומדברי הרמב"ם ריש הלכות גנבה, שהעתק המחבר לאל לא משמע כן.
Right, like we just saw, like we just read before in
לא
Smach.
משמע means it doesn't seem that it's not midoraisa. It seems that it is midoraisa. That's what he wants to say.
Yeah.
וכן כותב מרשל פרק הגויזל בסר, שמדברי הרמב"ם אלו סמג משמע שעושו מן התורה מיהו
Right, just like you
לעיל
said by Geneva,
וכי
it's
מרשל
Machmed
שם
also
כברי
not
ש"ס
Torah.
דאינו אלו מדרבנן. The Mashal doesn't hold like the Rambam, he holds it midrabanan. I must go say, okay, fine. So we have
Fine.
machlokes.
We have a machlekes, but it seems that that most of them held that did I say.
Okay.
Fine. Steve base.
Also ligzoil afilu al menas l'shalem davar yofim menu v'yesh mishaymer dehainu im ein atashim be'ein. You're not allowed to say something even to give him, then if you don't have it readily to give him, then
Yeah, now if you remember that this comes from the Rosh, and the Tur pointed out that we're not talking about the
you need a third buy.
We're not talking about to steal something that's a stam. We're talking about
something which is
something that's aimed right. That's aimed yeah.
And also when you have a third party, also you remember you have a Levi to Mezakeh.
Right, no, but even with the third party, we're still talking about only when
need everything. You need third
that's
party
standing to be sold. This is something that's yeah. It doesn't mean you take something from his house and replace it with something better. If it's in his house and it's not being sold,
no, it's
then there's nothing doing.
Right. Shimon ben kimishem yabedover zchusu lahem veyizkel oitzam lebalim aydei acher. You see, that's what he said.
Right.
Okay, we have to look at that. At why we didn't go into it so much. Why
right. I mean, it seemed like the fact is that keeps it honest because there's another person who knows about it, so he's not going to come to Goslin it for real. But
I think also because
first he took it on Manas L'Shalim, but now he has it. It's like this is a third guy who knows about it, so he's going to be more, I think, afraid to not give it back. But also, it's only when he has the Tashlum Be'en, he actually has the Davar Yafim, whether it's Mammon, whether it's in a case of bartering, whatever it is, he has the item in his possession.
And the shaila is when he say he has it mamish al asar or he has it at home.
No.
I think
if he had it al hasar, then what's the point? It must be he has it at home.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that why do you need the third person? Because since he doesn't have it al hasar.
Listen, if I had it here, I can just hear it.
Exactly.
I'm paying for it. I'm leaving with the money.
The third person is substituting al hasar. I'm telling you.
Well, right. Why? Because what are we afraid of? We're afraid. Then he went, and now he already went. He's gonna push it off, and the next thing he's gonna turn into a Goslin mamish.
Oh, exactly. So
the third person keeps it honest.
Exactly. That's why you need the Levi. You need the third person.
Because remember, the whole thing that we said in the end here was if he has another person who's going to make sure, and he has the money be'en, right? Let's say at home. So certainly the guy, he was selling the item. Of course he prefers, that's why you're being mizakeh him, because of course he prefers the money over the item. That's why he was selling it in the first place, right?
Right.
So if you're there and Levi's not there, Okay, but I have the money on me and I'm going to give it right now. So then I don't need a Levi to keep me honest. I'm not worried
Yeah.
I'm going to then, the Yetzer Hara is going to then chop me because I'm paying right now. Here, I'm taking the item, I'm putting the money down. See you later. Goodbye, Charlie. And I don't need a Levi because I'm being mizaka him right now.
Right. We're trying to keep it honest. That's what we're trying to
Yeah,
do.
because he's going to go away and he has to go get the money and bring it back. We're
100%.
afraid we're afraid the Yetzer Hara is going to meet him on the way and they convince him otherwise.
אפילו מנצח שלם, בגמור יולף לו מתקציב,
Where are we now in Smahi? Yeah, fine, good.
אפילו על מנצח שלם, בגמור יולף מתקציב, חובו יושב ראש הגזלה ישלם, רצלם אף אגב דגזלה ישלם, ראש המקרה.
Right.
I'm finished.
Says the words are called. What do you mean?
Yeah.
If he's being mishalim,
Why is that? Because he's not allowed to take it. He's not allowed to take it. דהיינו, אם אין הטעם שמא לא יהיה לו במה לשלם אחר כך, ככה זה הראש.
Right.
You hear?
Yeah,
Even a stronger reason. Maybe he won't have, not because he will have and he'll forget.
No,
Maybe
that's
he
not about
won't have.
Levi. No, that's if he doesn't have a be'en. Because if he doesn't have a be'en, it doesn't even help to have Levi. He has to have it also be'en, and he also have it, and also has to be Levi. You need both.
הטעם
So
שמא
he's
לא
saying
יהיה.
here, if you don't have a be'en, if you don't have the money.
So be'en doesn't mean to say al-asar. Be'en means to say in existence.
I have the money. It's
in
what's it
existence.
called? I have to go home and get it.
I have to go
money.
to the ATM machine.
Yeah, but I have the money.
שאם הם be'en, by the way, it seems over here you can't do this with money. You can only do this with a kli, which is better.
I think
Because
it's either.
It says
money?
it's because he said the Mephora said before that because it's something which is metzake, it's something which is
Fine, but meaning it's equal to or better than, right? So for example, equal to or better than means the guy with if the guy has a sign that says $300 for this lawnmower.
Yeah.
So I'm either giving you have to. In fact, nowadays it would probably be only with money. Why? Because back then they used to barter. It was a more normal thing. When a guy had a lawn sale and he had something out there sitting there, he wants something else for it. They used to barter. Nowadays people don't barter. Money is how we barter with money. I don't want to know. Don't give me an item that's better. What's it called? Just give me money. So if you come and you leave the money, then you're fine. So the question is now, what if I leave? I don't have the money here, but I don't want to lose the item. I want this lawnmower, and I'm afraid by the time I come back from the ATM, somebody else copped it. So I'm going to take the lawnmower now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to the ATM and I'll pay it. So so the Chaver says, wait. So you see Levi across the street. Levi, come here a second. You see this lawnmower? I'm taking it and I'm going to the ATM and I'm bringing the money back and putting it in his box.
Yeah.
Then
right.
you're good.
Okay. Also, things are film and Shalom Dover Yofim men. Okay, we're saying now.
דהיינו אם אין, יש אם אין באין.
Why can't you just leave it on the side?
הטעם שמא לא יהיה לו במה שאומר. שאם הם באין, פירוש שהן מין אחר והגזן צורך למין זה שגויזל. כי אין מייסר שאוי אנשי דוד צריכים סאוירן לבהמתון והיו רואים שם תחתיהם הדושים שלא היו ראויים לבהמה.
Right, now Adoshim, right, in that case,
it was
right,
useless for them. It was
meaning that it's useless for them, but Bichlal Adoshim were more valuable.
Right.
So they're giving him something of greater value.
We must say that whatever they took, the Seoirim was something which was Omer Lemechira. Otherwise, the whole thing.
Right, yeah, it must have been. Otherwise, it doesn't help. It's nicht.
He has to fulfill the tonight.
We have to say, yes, so it was Omer Lemechira. And we have to say the Adoshim
These
are
goes
more
about
valuable than the Seidim.
Pirush Imein Habalim Kan Amrin Mistama Nichale Zochanom Shel Befonov aber Gesheinu Bein Afshkebel Anaf Shoyliten Loy Dover Hatoiv Mimenu Mistama Loy Nichal Balim Lered Imoy Bedina Medina. ולפעמים לא יהיה לו במה לשם, ואם היו לו בעלים כאן, ואם המניחה לי לנו בשלנו, ולא בדובר אחר, התוי ממנו נראה פשוט, דלכולי
Right. This is
also.
only if the guy. This is all. Is these are assumptions we are allowed to make if the guy's not there.
Bestam. But if you
Right.
know different, no.
Listen, if the guy's there and he says, you know what, take it for free, you can take it for free, right? If he says, no, I don't want your adoshim, then I'm sorry, too bad.
Yeah.
You don't want your adoshim.
Oh, basically he leaves it out and he basically says put like the bagels to have in 770. Basically just put the money in the pushka.
Yeah, basically nowadays it would be like the guy has, you know what I'm saying. It's like back in the old days in America where people could trust each other. They would leave something out and say at 20 bucks, leave a thing that says $20, and the guy would come and put $20 in the mailbox and take it.
They have a 770 a lot of times. They have some ramen pictures. They sell bagels, rolls, everything with cheese. With
Yeah,
tuna.
right. And you just put it in the thing. The sandwiches, all that, and right.
Okay, let
So
me
now, so that's a good case. So now in that case,
No, because
let's say I'm afraid the sandwiches will be finished.
But there it says specifically you cannot take it and then pay later.
Oh, fine. Then you can't. Why? Because again, so that's this case. We just the shot that this mess said that if you know for a fact that the owner is not maskim, it doesn't help. Right? If there wasn't such a sign, then what would I have to do? I would have to, and I'm afraid the sound finished. So I would have to tell somebody else that's there, hey, look, I'm taking a sandwich and I'm coming to pay back later. Now there's a sign there. Sorry, now the whole thing's done. The whole thing you can't do.
I guess people weren't paying, so they canceled it and put up a sign. Because for a while they didn't have it.
Yes, okay, so that was that one. Shach.
Okay.
Shach yesh.
Okay. V'yesh mishemer? No.
Yeah.
V'yesh mishemer af agav damin leir the also ligno v'menas shalom kefel. Also mighty k'sheino mizak lo al acher. The mizak lo al acher lav geneva mikra. Kivun she'echod yedem is a ken live abach tiris b'derech. What does that mean?
It's a very strange.
Yeah.
That's a very, very strange thing.
What does that mean?
Meaning he's gonna go and he's gonna tell somebody else, listen, I want to pay him kefil. So I'm gonna steal this thing from him, but I'm not really stealing it. I'm stealing it, then I'm gonna say I stole it, now I have to pay him kefil. So he's saying that, oh, now you're okay because you're being mizakiyah to somebody else.
But it's not true, right? Is that the halacha? Ken nearly. He's my father's the Misha Oimer.
Yeah.
You know what he's doing? He's teaching this case in a different way. He's saying it's a different case.
This case, no, why?
The Smith didn't learn like that.
No. He's saying that case was a different case. He's saying what? He's saying, wait a second. So why over there? No. Why in Sameach we didn't do that? We didn't allow him. We didn't allow him to pay to be mizaka the guy by paying kefil. And why here we're saying, oh, but he's
why were here?
He says, because here he has another person. The Yizke there he wasn't mizake it al yidei acher.
But du gedenkst over here we're talking about in the case of
that he's mizake al yidei acher. You have to have the third person to keep it honest. He's saying, well, over there the case he was talking about, there's no third person. He took it al menas l'shalom kefil, but without a third person to keep it honest.
But what kind of demon is this? Even over here, the only reason you're allowed to do this is because it's a double choshu.
Not only that, over here also it's very strange because here we're talking about a double
exactly.
It's a very strange shach, and I'm sure there's I'm sure down on bottom somewhere there's people who
we will limit Hashem. We will.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. V'yizke Esim Laba'alim, Shach Dalid.
ודווקא שיודע שזכוס הוא לוי,
Right. He has,
כגון
he has to be certain that he's actually that he's being mezakim, that this helps the guy.
דובר אוהב למוכר, אבל בחפצי ביסוי לוי כן כוסו בטור. ומש מדברי הראש, ומדברי הראש, מיידי בקהי גבנה. That it's not, that בחפצי ביסוי תויגנישט.
Right. That this whole thing, this whole
It's only
seif,
oimed
this whole
lemechira.
seif is we're only talking about things that's able
Oimed-
to mechira. We're not talking about he
Yeah.
walked into his house.
Yeah, aber בחפצי ביסוי לוי כן כוסו בטור. ומש מדברי הראש, מיידי בקהי גבנה. Okay.
I mean, basically, only if he wants the sale to begin with.
Yeah, or it's a thing that it would be usual to or whatever. You know, it's you know you're not walking into his house and taking his personal effects. You know.
Then, like, I'll pay him later.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Okay.
I'll give him something better later. He says, no, that's not even what the sif is talking about in the first place. It's talking only about something that is Eimid Limachir.
Mocher, and you're giving him something good, and you're having a
Yeah,
third person,
and you have a third,
and
yeah.
and it's ready. It's not like it's
Yeah,
not.
that's right. You don't have the money yet. You have the money. You have it in the bank.
Right. Yeah, you
Or
manage
you have it in your house.
Yeah.
It's not on you, but you
That
have
guy,
it.
that guy needs to work for another 2 weeks, and then I'll be able to pay him back. I mean, he has
No.
the money already in his possession.
Better going to tell we hoch in nicha, but the mistake is bad because the Lord please in the harosh. The deal the must cost tour but double.
Yeah, so basically the tour is
the
answering the question that the Marshal had on the Rosh. Because the Marshal said, wait a second, what are you talking about? So based on what the tour says, no, the Rosh is only talking about Eimid Limachir. It gets rid of the question the Marshal had on the Rosh.
Okay, the main thing over here, we need to go to tour בדובר העומד למוכר, רוצה לומר שיודע בבירור שהבעל לא יחזיקנו לעצמו רק ימכרנו. You know for sure. No
for sure that
assumption.
he's trying to sell this item.
No, in this you can't assume anything. Here you can't.
You have to know for sure
Yeah,
that
you
it's
have to
Eimid
know.
Limachir.
It's a big thing. Okay, yet Gimel. Yeah? בחבר גימל. כל הגויזל לחבר אפילו שם פרוטה כאילו נויטל נפשי. טס. כאילו זה נפשי שנאמר וכובע אס קובעיהם נופש. ליל וסימן שמם חס ושנם טס, כסבתי יש פלוגתא בזה עם נפשי של גזדן או עם נפשי של ניגזל כומר.
Right,
Wow.
because meaning we're saying he's taking right because it says kilu naitel nafshay, whose life. So over there it's as a machlekes if what he means here is he's taking his own life or he's taking the life of he's taking the life of the guy who he stole from.
Okay, lassen wir jetzt lernen Dalet, ja, mit dem endet man, ja.
Dalet, yeah, let's do it.
אפילו הוא בסכון עצמו, זה צורך לקצר את חברוי כדי להציל נפשי, צורך שלא ייקחנו אלו על דס ושלם.
Right, even if somebody is mamish b'sakonis nefashis, so you're allowed a gazlan, but only al menas l'shalim.
מותר, כיוון שהוא בסכונס נפש, שאין לך דבר עומד בפיקוח נפש, טור. Okay, we did it.
Yeah, and the thing you have to pay is because you can't do it on his cheshbon. So now that you're in sakonis nefashis, you can take it because it's sakonis nefashis. But the second, what's it called? You're not now. You owe him the money.
Okay, Mendel, mit schon gelernt alles. Was wir da gedacht lernen jetzt, wir darf trachten wegen Meichen sein auf morgen. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
After next sugya.
Do you want to do something 10:30?
Tomorrow, what do you call? I'm
substituting.
I'm subbing in the high school, in the girls' high school.
From what time to what time? Could you make any?
From 8:30 till 11:30, which means by the time I get back 11:45, and it's almost I'm almost out of time. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'm not against. I'm just thinking. I don't think I have anything special tomorrow. I'm not if people